Welcome back to day 3 of part 1. I've got a couple of announcements I want to make. First of all, I'm going to move a lot faster for the rest of round 1. It has occurred to me that moving at the current pace, showing all the details of even the lowest matchups, is going to make this go quite long. I think what I'm going to do is low teams versus low teams and all the updates concerning a low team moving into another spot. I'm mostly going to skip over that stuff and again have you trust that I'm doing everything in the same routine. The 30 team advancing limit will in this way hopefully be lifted. Another thing I wanted to mention was I've kind of always rooted for underdogs, and though it has been incredibly entertaining to watch lower league teams attempt to take on their first move is to attack a major league team, that's a recipe for disaster, and we've seen it play out with scores like 19-3 and 25-0. I'm going to put it this way. I will consider this whole project a failure if the last 16 teams standing are all Major League Baseball teams. To me, the interest in this is seeing the low teams grow. And I took glee in episode 2 with the disasters that befell some of those teams that overreached. Well, one of them, the Guardians, outright attacked the Lake Erie Crushers. But for the most part, it's been small teams moving in on large teams. You can't do that your first game, and that's played out. So, we're going to go faster, and I'm rooting for underdogs, except in certain situations. I would love it if one of these Korean teams landed in California and somehow caught the Dodgers napping and obtained Shohei Ohtani from them, and then began a death march through the American Southwest. That would be really cool. It's very unlikely, but that's what makes it interesting. So let's begin. I've been kind of casually talking about these as we've gone on, but I'm going to go ahead and actually track these from now on. I think it's interesting that the Florence Y'all disaster when they attempted to invade Cincinnati, most attended game, 9,700. And then as I was going through looking at all the attendance, I saw that the Icheon Bears and the Hampyeong Tigers had 10 people in attendance at that game. Pretty remarkable. And then, of course, most runs in an inning. I've also begun keeping standings, and the SOV is strength of victory. I've assigned a point value to every type of league. Ties are broken, if you look at the right, by the strength of victory number, and if there's a tie with strength of victory, as we have with the Marlins and Royals Ventura, then it goes to point differential. I watch a lot of soccer. I should really change that to run. I kind of ragged on the White Sox for seeming to comparatively struggle with their game against the Chicago Dogs. Then I found out that Chicago Dogs are in a really good independent league. They got 8 points for that victory and are therefore in third place. Anyway, that's something new. This will be updated and posted at the end of the video as usual, along with all of the statistic leaders. Okay, we're going to start day 3 of round 1, and it is the ACL Rockies. ACL Rockies are surrounded by other teams. It's pretty clear that we're going to the rafters. Okay, this has only come up one other time, and it was in the first episode, and the Arizona Fall Leagues, and I'm assuming we haven't seen them yet, but the MLB Draft League, since these are made up with people from other teams, like Luke Adams also plays for the Biloxi Shuckers. Fall League team, Salt River Rafters, beat the Complex League Rockies 8-0. In fact, the Rockies only had 2 hits. The Rockies' best player, I couldn't send him to the Rafters because the Rafters already have their team. So these teams that are made up of kind of like pieces of other teams, I can't send players to them when they win. So the Draft League and the Fall League are going to be interesting cases where they're never going to increase their rosters. They will just, every time they win, they'll get a 50-point upgrade, but it won't go to their best player. And I did this before when the Scorpions won. And then I realized, oh, wait a minute. If I upgrade Lucas Braun, that's going to benefit the Columbus Clingstones and Coleman Crow, the Nashville Sounds. And I decided that's not a good idea. In fact, these players' statistics are going to be kept separate as well. Coleman Crow struck out 12 in this game, so he is, he's already high up on the strikeout list. But when he pitches for Nashville or whatever team he was on, he's going to have separate stats for that. I'm not going to combine them. What I did with the Scorpions and what I did with the Salt River Rafters is I went down the list until I found a person did not belong to a team, and that person was Juan Guerrero. He was a 35 rated left fielder. He's now 36. He drew power against lefties. It changed nothing. He's still the third string left fielder. He's not on the pinch hit list. Kind of a weird situation. And I was talking about speeding up, and so I didn't show the game or anything. But then I have this explanation I have to make, but I'm not going to make it again in the future unless it's something significant happens. But anyway, here is the new look of Arizona. These Arizona Fall League teams are kind of taking over the state. So the Complex League Rockies are gone. We're going to move on to the Peoria Javelinas. I saw Peoria and I was like, Javelina is kind of a weird name for a team from Peoria, Illinois. Coincidentally, it's these guys, and they're in Arizona Fall League too. I don't know what I'm saying. It's 2 a.m. Oh, they're going north. There won't be a game. I'm going to do this one live so that we'll see what I have to kind of go through, and then I won't show it again. Look at that. This would normally be the person who gets the update, but he plays for the Chesapeake Bay Sox. And then we've got the Lookouts and the Bats, Durham Bulls, Biscuits, Frederick Bencosme, second baseman. He's a 38. He's getting an upgrade for this team. Sacrifice bunting. He's a second baseman. See where he stands on this. 53. He's actually already pretty good at it. 155. 37. I believe he just went down. The heck? Okay, sacrifice bunting got a lot better, but I swear to God, he was a 38. This happens every once in a while. You know, I upgraded a Tigers pitcher in the first episode by 50 for holding runners, and he went from an 82 to an 80. I don't understand it, but hey, it'll all work out in the end. This game is a masterpiece. I trust it. And we can see that sacrifice bunting did go up. It went from like 55 to 78. I'm satisfied. I don't know. He's feeling bad about himself because he knows he's going to be sacrificing more than normal, apparently. Batting 7th. He's a second baseman. He has no power. He's a pretty good defender. Weird how he dropped. I don't get it. That's how the Fall League works, and eventually the Draft League. West Virginia Black Bears. Okay, I already know for a fact West Virginia only has 2 teams. They're far away from each other. Okay, that's them. Okay, they're going to go south. They're going to go toward the Dirty Birds, I think was their name. Yeah, so they're going to go here. Okay, this is insane. I start this video off with this refresher on this dilemma with these teams that are borrowing players, and then I get 2 Fall League teams in a row, and I just looked up the Black Bears, their draft team. So at the same situation 3 times in a row, and there's only a small handful of these teams. I think it's like 12 total. So we're gonna do the same thing here. We're gonna go. These guys are also. Oh, look at this, Gabe Craig. Okay, apparently I can upgrade the best person on the team, who happens to be Gabe Craig. Infield range. He has an infield range of 24. Overall rating is 36. 97. 36. So Gabe Craig is their closer. Man, it's picking some strange teams to kick this off. Okay, here they are, just they're off the coast of California, just south of San Francisco. We're in episode 3. We still haven't seen a Korean team land on the West Coast yet. Maybe this time. Nope. This is the KT Wiz Futures team. This is a KBO team, so this is going to be a significantly better team than this one. I'm going to show this game. Okay, I'm going to test something out here. Before I had my username Tom Lawless up here, and I didn't realize that's why sometimes I would get notified that I needed to replace a player, and I really didn't want to be involved in any of those decisions. Then one day I kind of woke up and was like, duh, turn on the AI. During that era, I would go in and I would kind of laboriously, I can see it's already happened. I didn't even notice. I would kind of laboriously go in and put all the worst pitchers in the pitching staff into these positions that were empty. And so it just occurred to me, you know what, since I've got the AI up, it's going to do it for me. So I bet this guy's a pitcher. Yep. So good. I don't have to do that anymore. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go to the 5th inning, up to the 5th inning. And we've got a lead by the KBO team. They're not dominating in any way. Let's go 2 more innings. Okay, now they're dominating. By the way, there are 10 people at this game. I don't know if you noticed that. Let's finish the game. It's well in hand, 20-4. Another West Coast update that involves a new gap appearing in the Pacific. Dinos imported Che-Ho Lee, a relief pitcher. He is rated at 32. He is slated for long relief. Spokane Indians. Spokane has no opponents, but this area is going to get really interesting with all these giant counties. These teams are really spread out, but the counties are huge, so they're going to meet soon. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to run this, and I'll see you on the other side. Spokane looks like this now. Relief pitcher Cade Denton got the update, and it went to control, and so his rating went from 38 to 39. Fort Myers, Mighty Muscles. All right, we have a Florida matchup. Florida is going to get a little bit more sorted out. Mighty Muscles are a single A team, and we're going to hit Florida Complex Orioles, Mets, or Blue Jays. Okay, both teams are missing a shortstop. The Baltimore Orioles also missing a center fielder, so some crucial parts. The Oriole starter is slightly better than Xander Sechrist. I'm going to assume that it's going to take care of this. Yes. Okay. Let's look at the box score. This E. Jones guy, probably a pitcher. Yep, he is. Okay, everything's working the way I would have done it on my own had I been micromanaging this, so it's okay. I can trust that from here on out. Let's play 4. The muscles are up. Let's go a couple more. Still winning. Wow. Let's watch the game. We got the Florida Complex Baltimore Orioles attempting to upset Fort Myers and make the map of Florida more white than it already is. We got a goofy hit. I don't know. Is that going to be... Yeah, that's going to be a hit. To lead off, tying run at the plate. Orioles are the home team. That goes off the wall in left center. There are 100 people at this game, by the way. Okay, man at second and third. Jason Doktorzik. This is all him so far. Okay, struck him out. Another strikeout. Doktorzik just needed to warm up a little bit more. We're approaching the bottom of the order. This Ramos guy is at contact of 24. It's highly unlikely he puts this in the seats to win the game. But the winning run is at the plate. Here we go. Who lives and who dies? And that's the game. Florida Complex Orioles cease to exist. All right, I wanted to run this part of this game because Jason Doktorzik is the closer. But the player they got from Complex Orioles is Zane Barnhart, who also has the 35 and is a closer. Let's find out what he gets and if he moves in. This is going to help him. 382. Okay. Once again, there's Doktorzik and there's Zane Barnhart. Boy, this is a real position battle here. Let's see what happens. Zane Barnhart took the spot. Florida gets a little bit more visually interesting. Okay, I'm trying to make this go faster, but we keep getting these oddball things happen. Another KBO team. Okay, the Kia Tigers are pretty good. Lowest man is 33, got a bunch in the 40s. I don't know how many times I've said this, but we still have not seen a single Korean team take a step even into undefended territory on the West Coast. Let's see if it finally happens. And no, they want to go back to Korea. Let's try it again. And I think we finally have West Coast action. Tigers are here. Yes. No game. This is monumental. Korea and the West Coast. Now we have all 4 borders of the United States have been infiltrated. We have 344s. Come on. It's going to be the pitcher. It's always the pitchers. Scott Maxwell, I believe he's their day 1 starter. Scott Maxwell is a 44 that's pretty freaking good. Control. Left, it's always left. We've seen that left stats don't go up that much, and I've decided it's because they don't see very many lefties compared to righties, and so it doesn't affect their game as much. Many times I've upgraded right, and the rating will go up 2 points, and we upgrade left the same amount, it doesn't go up at all. 457. So Scott Maxwell gets a little bit better. Montgomery Biscuits. We're going northeast. So Cole Wilcox is our big improvement guy here. Okay, he's a better fielder. 105. Still a 44. Once again, we see a double-A team. This has happened before with the Somerset Patriots, I believe, where we see a double-A team that looks really good, and then you get into it and you realize they're shorthanded. Florida Complex Tigers. I think we're going to Lakeland. These are two Tigers teams playing each other, so the Tigers are going to lose, are guaranteed to lose one of their teams out of the game. The Flying Tigers have been in the game and taken territory, but they have not played a game. They managed to go in the one direction where there wasn't anybody, so they picked up a lot of space, but now they're being put to the test by a fairly good Complex team. Let's go to the 5th. Yeah, they've got them on the ropes. Let's go to the 7th. Okay, Lakeland on top. Let's go 8th, the K, and the 9th. Detroit can come back. Nope, they couldn't. They got some good late inning pitching. The Florida Complex Tigers have 8 players tied for the highest rating on the team. So the Flying Tigers are going to get whoever number 4 is. Catcher Enrique Jimenez. He will live on. There he is. The player of the game was the catcher, who is just a little bit better than Enrique. So one Tiger prospect goes up. He goes from Rookie League to A. Let's see if Enrique Jimenez takes his spot for some reason. We've seen weirder things happen. Okay, I predicted it. For some reason, this guy's internal numbers are just a little more favorable. Josu's probably the DH now. Oh, they're playing him at first. Outstanding. So the first baseman, Garrett Pennington, lost his job. Love the way this is getting, and there's Woody Hadeen, who is their eternal upgrade player. Lakeland getting better. The Flying Tigers are just basically saying, come get us. They couldn't make themselves a bigger target if they tried. I'm going to guess Dutch. Yeah, it's a Dutch team, and it's this one. Let's see if they go back to Europe. Yeah, they actually want to go to Africa. We're seeing this again. Couldn't be any clearer. This is not looking good for the Bournemouth Bears. 105 people at this game. It's 50 degrees. Cold day for baseball. I think the Dutch team is going to stomp. I mean, they look like a borderline double-A team compared to the British. Let's do the first inning. All right, let's jump to the 5th. Bournemouth, go! I mean, this isn't exactly the kind of upset I was looking for. All right, the Dutch woke up, had a 6-run 5th, 11-9 in the top of the 7th, top of the 8th. Will they add to their lead? They will not. Nigel Calms pitching. We get a fly out to center field. At the plate, Marco Pastana, who is a fearsome 1-1. Flare out to left is an easy out. The last chance is Jose Lopez. All right, Nigel Calmas versus Jose Lopez. Okay, so we've got twice the ball player on the mound here. Does Nigel choke? No, just makes a mockery of Jose Lopez. But I will say that the 9 runs they allowed this high school team to acquire is not a good sign for their future. Player of the game, Jesus Pastana. Bournemouth Bears are history. Their best player is about to go to the Dutch team. We'll figure out who that is. Dan Mermel is the player who will be moving to the Dutch team. He is head and shoulders above the rest of these guys. And jumping on to the Bosom HK. Not really sure how to deal with that. Okay, he's nowhere near the best player on the team. This is significantly better situation. He's not going to be in the rotation. I would be shocked. Dan Mermel goes into long relief. Milwaukee Brewers. Huge shot at having a game. Lake Dogs have already had an upgrade, but they are not ready. I think these are the Milwaukee Milkmen, which are an independent league team, if I remember correctly. Clearly, they're playing the Milkmen. Terrible news for the Milwaukee Milkmen. The Milwaukee Milkmen have this amazing logo, just like the Chicago Dogs, and I'm really sad that this is... But, you know, on the off chance that there's a complete upset, I'm going to go ahead and set their team up like they're going to be around for a while. Definitely not pushovers. Got a nice team, and the Brewers are set to inherit Jalen Davis, so this is the guy that's going to extend his life with the Brewers if the Brewers win. Okay, so this is who the Milkmen will get if things do not go according to plan. Oh, look at this. He'll actually find a place here. Jalen Davis is batting third for the Milkmen. Here we go. At the plate, Christian Yelich. Boy, that looked like it hit him. Yeah, he's hit by the pitch. Joey Ortiz at the plate. No big deal. And Yelich is stealing as predicted easily. Contreras, the player the Milkmen will inherit if they can win this game. Yelich will easily score. Not looking good. We got one out. Okay, going to the fifth. 6-1. Not terrible. The Milkmen aren't bad. 6-2. Let's do the seventh. And the eighth. 7-4. They're within reach. Let's do the half inning. And the Brewers bring no one across. So Trevor McGill is on the mound. Jeffrey Marte at the plate. He's no slouch. He's the second man in the order. And he is struck out. One out. Number 3 hitter. And he is struck out. His third strikeout for McGill. And we are one out away from Jalen Davis going to the Milwaukee Brewers. Admirable job by the Milwaukee Milkmen. I would have liked to have seen them not play a major league team for their first game. Player of the game, Christian Yelich. Can't resist showing this great moment in the tournament where a guy goes from a little team. Jalen Davis, you are a Milwaukee Brewer. Jalen Davis, I'm assuming, is going to be backup outfielder, and he's the second pinch runner. Definitely a useful player. Good news for the Dockhounds. I could fit the Brewers logo up here a little bit better than I could down here. So harder for the Brewers to hit the Dockhounds on their next spin. We're 10 teams in, 10 advances in. All right, Chesapeake Bay Sox are this Maryland team. 2 teams on their borders. More Chesapeake than they were before. I remember this guy. This guy was going to get an upgrade in Arizona, and I talked about skipping over him. Or at least I showed him and moved on. A center fielder. Wow, look at this dude. He's fast. He can steal. He's going to improve his arm. He's a center fielder, and he needs that. Oh, this is going to be great. Outfield arm to a 142. I got him in the green to a 71. And we've got the Billings Mustangs. This is definitely an upgrade. And make a name for themselves. Going east. All right, they're getting this big one here. Billings Mustangs, best player, Patrick Mills. Base running skills plus 50. 81 to 131. He's at 34. Base running is at 66, dwarfing all of his other abilities in this area. Richmond Flying Squirrels. Richmond in Eastern Virginia, surrounded by nobody. We're going to be upgrading one of these 2 starting pitchers. It's going to be number 2. Ethan Small is their guy from here on out. He's a 45. 152. 46. And he moves into the number 1 spot. West Michigan Whitecaps. They're going to go south. Hi, A team. Best player on the team is Dylan Smith. Dylan Smith upgrades. Infield error. Oh, yeah. Inland Empire 66ers. The main reason I'm so excited is this is one of the biggest territories on the whole map. And there's really only one way out without a game. And that's going to basically force them to face the Dodgers at some point. Okay, so we got Lake Elsinore. We got the slimmest chance of the Angels. We got a big chance of the Dodgers. Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, the Aviators, who already have a nice stretch. We got Solar Sox, which is Arizona Fall League. This is deep trouble for the Inland Empire 66ers. Okay, they are running away from the Dodgers, with the smartest thing they can do. I think this might be the Solar Sox. It's the Aviators. The Aviators are on the verge. One of these teams is on the verge of having just about the biggest territory, competing with Billings and the Rafters. This will be the biggest territory on the map. This is pretty interesting. I'm not sure what the 66ers are. A single A team. Star player here is Jorge Ruiz, playing left field. The last time the Aviators appeared was in the first episode when they beat the Arizona Fall League team, the Glendale Desert Dogs, 10-9. They imported 39 rated left fielder Chase Davis from the Desert Dogs. He is not much of a factor here. He is a backup in a number of different places. This Las Vegas team is pretty good. JP Sears will be starting. Inland Empire has their work cut out for them. They've got one missing position. Shortstop. Pitcher at shortstop is a common theme. Denzel Clark, I believe he's at the top of the home run list, tied with a few other people. Yes, Denzel Clark. We've got the tournament home run leader batting 6th, power of 48. 775 people showed up for this game. Evenly contested through 3. Aviators pick up 3 runs in the 4th. Pick up another one. And another one. Sears is still pitching. 6 innings, 6 strikeouts. Oh, whoa. Sears is no longer pitching. The wheels fell off in the 7th inning. We have an error for the 66ers, and it is the pitcher playing shortstop that made the error. But the pitcher is also the person who hit the home run. Okay, I guarantee you Denzel Clark had something to do with this. Come on, Denzel Clark. No, he's still 1 for 3. 13-5, and the game ends at 13-5. And we had 3 home runs for Las Vegas, but none of them were Denzel Clark. And they keep getting left fielders they can't use. Okay, so Ruiz and Davis are kind of filling in on the extreme backup roles. I wonder if the Dodgers are intimidated. Florida Complex Twins. Oh, there they are. I'm going to give them this, and I don't know what this is, but I'm going to say that this is all one area. Okay, we got Mitch Mueller. He's a 33. Movement right. This will be a good one, based on my current theories about right versus left. 395. Had a 33. He's at a 34 now. He is their closer. Been a while since we've seen an upgraded closer jump into the rotation, but it has happened like 3 times. Next up. This will be interesting. We have not been in this area for the whole game yet. Obviously, they'll have a shot at attacking these other Canadian teams, but otherwise, this entire region is open to them. Okay, they're definitely taking an open area. They're taking this huge county in Maine. All right, a second Canadian team has jumped the border. Pablo Garabitos, 39, holding runners 143. He was at 39, still at 39. Well, he didn't go down like the last guy who got holding runners. This is a team ready to go. They're not the best team in the world, but they're fully staffed. Yes, Kansas City Royals. One of the teams I'm going for. I don't mind the foolishness of a small team attacking a major league team, but at this stage in the game, it feels like bullies. I'm looking at you, Cleveland Guardians. And of course, this is a moment where the rich get richer. We've seen this with the Dodgers, like Shohei Ohtani was 103, went up to 109. Bobby Witt Jr., his older sister was in my class. Shortstop. It is incredibly rare we get a shortstop update. He's going to get faster. Oh my god, he's going to blow the doors off. We might have leftover points that I'll spin again for. Yeah, we will. This has never happened before. Okay, episode 3. 11 points that I'm going to respin and put somewhere else because he has maxed out running speed. We're going to figure out where the other 11 points go. 523. Which means I need to raise this. 523. I wasn't doing this originally, but I went back and raised the potentials on all the people that I think in the first video and a half, I hadn't been paying attention to that. I've gone back and fixed them all. Bobby Witt Jr. is now the fastest person in baseball. He's completely maxed out. 125 speed. He's up to an 83. This guy. Yeah, Colleyville. That's where I was. Colleyville Heritage. Okay, I'm really excited about what's happening for the Royals. We haven't had a game in a while. Let's see what we get. Rome, Georgia? Isn't there a Georgia? Again, I put this map together, but it was in late October. Yeah, there they are. They're right next to the Braves. Wisely moving the opposite direction. Much better. We've got Tyler Tolvey. Assume that's Tyler Tolvey. I love it when we get catchers. I don't know why. Power versus lefties. 450. 51 to 73. And he went up to 41. No, it's not terrible. Throw some pitchers in the outfield. We should be good. I think I can do 2 more in this session. Oh dear. The Red Sox are in one of the tiniest spots on the map. Oh, they're not touching anyone. But they're definitely moving out. They're moving out of this tiny box. We're now touching Worcester. I think that's how you say that. The Red Sox have come out of their little cocoon. That'll do it. The Red Sox best player is Garrett Crochet by good margin. He's going to be a better fielder. Infield error 14. This is definitely something he could get better at. 78. Okay. 14 to 39. And he remains at 71. The Dominican Red Sox Blue are just over the border from Big Bend National Park. They got the 1-0 DSL Pirates Gold next to them. No one is behind any of the DSL teams anymore. Okay, it looks like they're going after the Pirates. They're going after the Pirates Gold. All right, the DSL Pirates Gold defeated the Diamondbacks Black. They beat them 8-4. They were also the defending team at that time. They acquired starting pitcher Chung Sang Hwang, who is starting this game. Brandison Polanco got the win for them. There's our guy, Chung Sang Hwang. Let's see how he does in the first inning. He actually does okay. Let's go to the 5th. And Pirates Gold, despite being down some positions, I mean, look at this guy. No ability to play in the outfield. Oh, they got the guy who started game 1 playing in right field. I think the Red Sox have had it. All right, mounting a comeback. All right, we're going to have to do this. On the mound, we've got Cesar Aquino. At bat, we've got Edwin Darvel. He should take care of this. He does not. To the top of the order with a man on first, and that's a strikeout. And now we have the bases loaded with 1 out for the cleanup hitter, Frederick Jimenez, who's got the fearsome power of 12. No skill right fielder. Okay, catches the ball, gets it in. Did we get 1 run? Come on, you're about to be eliminated. This, you got to go for it. Here's the DH. Cesar Aquino still on the mound. They struck him out. Pirates Gold go 2-0. And the Red Sox have lost one of their teams. Player of the game, Chung Sang Hwang. They've beaten 2 DSL teams. They have inherited Gerardo Rodriguez. While he is only a 29, he is the best catcher on the team. They now have 4, but they need outfielders. Yeah, he is going to start. Here's our first spin of this new recording session. Essex Arrows. We have another East Coast attack. Again, we're getting Maine is being hit from both sides. I can't believe how consistent this is. Essex, their best players at 23. That means they have one reliever. It's mandatory. 3-man rotation. I don't care if you have 60 pitchers or 2. If you only have 3 pitchers, you have a 3-man rotation. You have no bullpen. That's your fault. All right, I seem to have made a mistake. I will be rectifying it here in a second. Also, I discovered a mistake yesterday after I quit recording. I still had the DSL Bombers off the coast of Florida, and Miami destroyed them, I think 19-0. So they're gone now. And my next mistake is Croydon slipped through. They're not in the game. It's my understanding that they've been modded into the game, but I'm only using the default stuff. So with Croydon gone, that wheel spin doesn't work at all. So the Essex arrows are going to have to spin again. The arrows are just determined to attack one of their own teams. Oh my God, I just made a joke about this and then it came true. They have 2 pitchers. They have 12 players. Oh my God. Starting pitcher in relief only in crucial situations. What's this guy's stamina? 43. Just a terrible mess. Boy, Essex looks like they're just going to destroy this. Giovanni Papalardo on the mound. Okay, he gets touched up a little bit. David Bedard is throwing a no-hitter. In the first inning, he threw 5 pitches. He's got a perfect game going. Okay, he lost it all. Still throwing a shutout. Papalardo fails again. Boy, how is London doing this? Okay, at some point, when Bedard falls off the cliff, he's thrown 17 pitches through 2. Okay. His stamina is like 48. He's thrown 32 pitches through 3 innings. Still throwing a shutout. Still throwing a shutout. This is unbelievable. This game is weird. Okay, they're getting to him, and Rueda held things down. All right, Bedard has now thrown 64 pitches, a bit worn out. I think London's going to hold on to this. They just keep 82 pitches. He's about to be in the red. A scoreless inning. 6 hits. Yeah, Essex is just failing. Bedard has thrown 94 pitches. He's deep in the red. He's exhausted. His arm hasn't fallen off yet. Okay, he allowed 2 runs there, but the lead is excessive. The Essex Arrows are not the Cincinnati Reds. A really disappointing showing for the Arrows. They attack the Capitals thinking that they are weak and end up getting kind of humiliated. The Capitals took the best player off of the Essex Arrows. Happened to be a first baseman named Adonis Galvez, and he is now the best player on the Capitals. But when I went down here, the AI manager restaffed the team. Galvez, who can also play left, is the backup first baseman. He's the top pinch hitter, but he's not being used. He's the 3rd string left fielder. Here's another thing that I found that is annoying. They have this guy, Mark Skopek, playing shortstop. He has no ability at shortstop, and he's a decent first baseman. And the guy they have playing first base can play shortstop. He has at least some ability. I'm kind of breaking a rule here, but this team is pathetic. They ever play a team that's not from England. What can Galvez do? Left field, first base. He's obviously going to be the DH if they play in a DH rule game, which will inevitably be their next game. Can the left fielder play right? Yeah, I'm going to swap. Kyle Randall's going to right field. Okay, I can kind of understand, though. They don't really have a place for Galvez. The London Capitals are still stuck with 2 pitchers. They have enormous needs, and they get a great player, best player on the team, but can't do anything. They can't actually use him. Back to the wheel. Binghamton Rumble Ponies going to New York. I have a little business to attend to here. They have lots of places to go. Binghamton going west. Nolan McLean. Infield range. San Diego Padres. I could see it coming. And we also just missed the Toronto Blue Jays. Okay, this is a new fun game to play. Let's look at the Padres. Can't go overseas, so we've got a tiny chance of playing the Angels. And otherwise, we got Lake Elsinore or the Ontario Tower Buzzers. It's obviously going to point out into the Atlantic. Oh my God, it didn't. I didn't have to spin the wheel 9 times. It's Ontario. All right, so San Diego's moving east. All right, we've just discovered that the Ontario Tower Buzzers are part of a shakeup in the California League. They will have their first games in 2026. For some reason, I thought they were in the game, just like Croydon, but they're not. So this space is unoccupied, and San Diego will get an update. The shakeup to the California League involved the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, which I have verified are present, so they're going to stay there. The other team that was involved were the Modesto Nuts, who disappeared when San Jose beat them in the first video. And they'll be taking this spot, which is empty. Let's see how this looks. Fernando Tatis Jr. figured he will get turning double plays. We're going to 154. Significant increase on a scale of 1 to 250. Here, we see this jump up. And here, yeah, he does go up 1. Okay, so he's a little bit more dangerous from right field. Arm didn't get better. I don't know, maybe his timing. Pitching staff looks like that. And for you Padre fans, there you go. I've discovered just in the last couple of rotations, I've discovered 2 teams that shouldn't have been on the map. This whole corner of the country's going nuts. Going through this super fast. This is what I envisioned when I said I was going to pick up the pace. These DSL games would go quickly. Louisiana, which is 100% undefended. And that's what they're doing, I think. The Dominican Summer League Atlanta Braves had the upgrade to Kendy Francique, their closer. The Braves have made landfall in the state of Louisiana. Tri-City Valley Cats. Tri-City Valley Cats are a Frontier League team. They're in upstate New York. Best player is Lou Fuenmayer, guessing. Holding runners, 65. He's already pretty good at it. Yeah, look at that. So he's going to a 179 out of 250. Now he's really good at it. Okay. Diamondbacks, this is going to be... Well, they're not actually connected to anybody serious, but they might be real soon. In fact, if they go west and take out the complex Padres, the San Diego Padres will have a serious reason to get revenge. And they'll be right next door. And that's what they're doing. ACL Padres, yeah, I think they beat the ACL Cubs 16-5. They imported first baseman Cole Mathis. He's a 33. Cole Mathis is their cleanup hitter versus right and left. If the Diamondbacks win this game, they're going to get Tim LaCastro and they're going to get Cole Mathis. Probably not terribly excited about this, but those 2 players are. We've got a bully situation going on here. We've got the Diamondbacks attacking the ACL Padres. I don't think the Padres are going to be a total pushover here. We have a grand total of 136 people showing up for this game. That's really sad for Arizona. I think Corbin Burns is going to dominate, though. Matthew Watson with 2 strikeouts and a walk in the first inning. Corbin Burns comes up. Whew. Let's see how serious they are. I mean, it's the second inning. Matthew Watson going against the middle of the order. He allowed a hit. Burns threw 26 pitches in the first inning. Here he goes against the bottom of the order. Okay, and he gets through that easily. All right, Matthew Watson, game of your life. Third inning. It's 12-8 in the fourth. Okay, now it's 16-8. All right, I think... Yeah, there's no way. I mean, this is an embarrassing situation for the Diamondbacks. Allowed double-digit runs. They have also set the record for runs scored. Highest I've seen so far is 25. They just cannot stop the Padres from scoring. 31. Okay, first team to break 30. What a... Jeez. Marte is the player of the game. All right, we got Tim Locastro, best player on the team. And the Diamondbacks are also inheriting anybody this team inherited, which would be Cole Mathis. So Cole Mathis was on the ACL Cubs. And now he's on the Diamondbacks. Well, there's Cole Mathis. He's hanging out. And Tim Locastro, not the worst center fielder on the team. All right, go Locastro. Where do these guys end up? Mathis and Locastro. Locastro's the backup center fielder and the backup first and second baseman and the backup right fielder. This is an important pull for, well, third string. Third string for those positions. Locastro's number 3 in pinch hitting, number 1 pinch runner. Mathis is nowhere to be seen. You're on the Diamondbacks and you're moving on. San Antonio Missions. And they are right here, northwest. Ethan Salas. He's a 41. Gap. 438. 41. He's still really low. Yeah, he's a weak hitter. So he really did need that upgrade. Who knows? Maybe he was batting 9th before that. Houston Astros. They're right next to Sugarland. Houston is rushing to defend the coast from the DSL teams. Okay, directly opposed to the DSL Giants Orange and the DSL Tigers. 2 teams that have orange. Josh Hader is our testant. Movement. He's a 77. Movement left is a 75. This is already his forte. 540. 100 now. 80. Massive jump. Visalia Rawhide. This is Central California. Central California. Well, okay, it's still southern. More than likely going to have a game unless they decide to go closer to the Dodgers. They don't. They're going against Rancho Cucamonga. Both teams are struggling to fill their rosters. I have very little interest in this game. One of these teams has got to win. They're both single A. Let's go to the 5th just to see if anything interesting is brewing. A no-hitter is brewing. The first thing I thought of was like, what if I sim this whole game and it's a no-hitter? Okay, that's over. 3-0. We'll go to the 9th. 5-0. Visalia comes back. They were being no-hit through a huge chunk of the game. I don't know, 5 innings, and they score 6. They score 6 in the 9th and 10th. Oh, for only the second time ever, the player of the game is on the losing side. I don't record that stat or anything unless they get transferred, and I don't think he is. It's funny how the Angels are just kind of getting lost in the middle of all this expansion. All right, Visalia Rawhide has a choice of 3 different players here. Joe Vitrano was the player of the game. Okay, he's not picked. Reynaldo Yeen is the player that will come across. He's one of the best players on the team now. Okay, Reynaldo Yeen is now the closer. Frederick Keys. All right, the Frederick Keys had a holding runners improvement for Hunter Alberini. I also realized the Frederick Keys were listed in the list of teams twice. They used to be a high A team, I think, and now they're going to be an MLB draft team or vice versa. I can't remember. I think they were an MLB draft team, and then like Cal Ripken bought the team and has changed them to a high A team. I have no idea, and I just realized the Quad City River Bandits just came up while I'm babbling about the Frederick Keys. I know no one's touching them. No one's even moved in their direction. So they're crossing the Mississippi River. Now, when I grew up, this team was called the Quad City Cubs, and I believe they were the single A team for the Chicago Cubs. But in the 90s, they became the River Bandits. I tend to accidentally call them the Quad City Cubs. So if I refer to the River Bandits as the Quad City Cubs, that is just a habit from my childhood. So basically, the Quad City River Bandits just moved from Davenport and Bettendorf, and they moved across the river and took Moline and Rock Island, which is entirely appropriate given that they are the Quad City River Bandits. Quad City's on the map. Man, your eye is drawn to California when you look at this thing. California and Arizona. Jeez. These are the guys, man. They have a DH as their best player. Oh my god, he can pitch? What the heck? What is going on with this guy? That's huge. Not just power, but power against righties. What has he got so far? 58 and 58. Power versus right. 470 out of 600. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hunter Owen. The Cubs have some power. Hunter Owen's already the cleanup hitter, so we've rearranged things around him, but man, this is a small group. They have no ability to pinch hit. They got to win a game and get another position player. Their pitching staff is very good. It's large, and worst player on the team, some teams would kill for. Okay, he's in long relief. They need offense more than they need pitching, so I don't think I'm going to do a Shohei Ohtani where I flip back and forth on this guy. There he is. Hunter Owen. All the images that I found of him, none of them he had a bat in his hand. He was pitching in every picture. I'm gonna make no secret that I'm going for the Quad City River Bandits. I want them to go all the way. But again, stuff like this is absolutely pointless if you're rigging it, so everything will be above board. I will just need to go into therapy when they get eliminated. Excuse me if they get eliminated. Oakland A's, back to California. This is going to get more and more convoluted. Perfect. The place where you can see all the logos clearly, no matter how far away you are. Man, look at this team. Lake Elsinore. They're surrounded by 3 major league teams and a AAA team. There is no way out. I'm clearly going to be calling them the Oakland A's. I won't even notice it when I do it. Mason Miller. Infield error. All right, so he's 74. Infield error of 17. Definitely needs help. Is this the most important thing? No. 83. 42. Remains at 74. 31 teams have advanced or maintained their position in round 2, which is my goal used to be 30, but we've seen a number of teams lose, so there have been a lot of eliminations in this episode. So I'm going to do one more, possibly the last draw of episode 3, Greenville Drive. These guys are going up possibly against the Spartanburgers, which terrifies me because it's another team I'm pulling for, even though they're shorthanded. Good. Thanks for not going after the Spartanburgers. Whoa, 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 2, Hayden Mullins. Turning double plays, a favorite of pitchers everywhere. 43 goes to 93. Hayden Mullins gonna start if they can survive long enough. All right, this, no matter what, is the last one before I edit, and this may be the end of the video. Winston-Salem dash back to the same general area we were in. And they maybe are? Yeah, that's a game. Yeah, this is definitely the end of the video. Games take a while. Winston-Salem is attacking the Greensboro Grasshoppers. These are both high A teams, I believe. I know they're single A. I think they're A+. Winston-Salem has a slight advantage. Wrapping this up, we're going to go to the 5th. Winston-Salem is winning 3-1. Diamond still on the mound. 3-1 through the 6th. 3-1 through the 7th. 3-1 through the 8th. Insurance. And game over. Winston-Salem wins fairly easily. Jack Brannigan, third baseman, is going to Winston. He's a 43. Jack Brannigan is tied with the pitcher who started and won that game and was the player of the game. Jack Brannigan will get to play in the next game. Hagen Smith will not. Let's see. Will Jack Brannigan get to start? They are shorthanded. Wes Kath, so 37. Brannigan is significantly better third baseman. Brannigan will start. He's batting third. Oh, they don't have a catcher. Boy, that was a perfect time to get a catcher, but they didn't. Likely our final adventure here in episode 3. Quite a bit has changed. Here's our updated list of players of the game. It's not going to be all of them, but eventually, I'm not going to scroll through it, but eventually we will see people rising to the top, and that's really what I'm concerned with. Currently, it's listed in sequential order. Same with upgrades. Nobody's been upgraded more than once at this point. I will have photographs anytime there is a distinct leader in any category. There's only one at this point. Here are your home run leaders, stolen base leaders, I'm also going to be tracking no-hitters and perfect games. There hasn't been one yet. Strikeout leaders. Wins. And nothing here has changed. We did have another Korean team tied the low, but I'm not going to include anything that ties, just the initial record set. I have a feeling that the game doesn't do single digits or 0, and 10 is kind of the default low. Here are current power rankings. They're not really standings. Based on record, strength of victory, and then run differential. I also want to point out at this stage, Major League Baseball teams are 8-0 and they have outscored their opponents 144 to 26. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to the bottom on this one, in case you have a rooting interest in any of these teams near the bottom. Starting off slowly, we have these teams as well.